Welcome to the Mind Over Money podcast with Jessen James.
Hey everyone, it's Jessen James here and welcome to another episode of the Mind Over Money podcast. I'm so grateful to have you here. If you're new to us, welcome to our family. If you are not new, welcome back. And look, you know the drill. This podcast is only possible if people actually listen to it. And I genuinely feel I'm the world's best kept secret. Yes, I do believe that. And my problem with that is I need more people to hear what it is that I got to say. Look, I'm an ex-psychiatric nurse. You're never going to take the nurse out of me. I'm always going to care about other people. So this podcast is dedicated towards helping people like yourselves level up their mindset so that they can earn more, but also live more of an abundant life. Because at the end of the day, it's not just about money. It's about the meaning money has. You don't need to have billions in the bank to live a blessed life. You can have a nice income, but it's got meaning where you're able to create memories and create experiences for you and your loved ones and live in a certain way, stress-free. We all deserve that as a bare minimum. However, I'm fully aware that your mindset and your mental health is impacted when we don't have the kind of money that we deserve. So this podcast is dedicated towards that. So please make sure you subscribe on your favorite channel, leave us a review down below and share it with somebody that you care about. So this episode, I want to talk about something that people don't talk about enough. I want to break down the secret to my success. Yes, the secret to my success. And believe me, it's got nothing to do with money. You see, we are so heavily focused in this world of what can I take? What can I have? What's in it for me? That we are failing in one of the most fundamental ways of becoming more successful. Now, believe it or not, I didn't do this consciously from an early age. I was doing it unconsciously. And I have my mum to thank for what I'm about to share with you, and my dad as well, but mostly my mum because I got it from her. Now, what is it that I'm going to share with you? It's this concept of actually giving first. Giving first. Who can you help? What can you do for others? And I know it's hard when you need, but what can you do for others? For example, right now, if you are struggling for money and you're not where you should be or whatever it is, I'll tell you something. Go and feed the homeless person who's sitting in the street right now or laying on the street in the cold, in the wet, in the rain. Go and feed them. Give them a hot meal. Go and have a conversation with them. Give. And you will leave that situation floating on cloud nine, realizing how blessed you really, really are. Because it's hard, isn't it, when you're struggling yourself? So look, the secret, my friend, to actual success is by giving. Because when you give by all means, by the way, give as much as you can. Don't give to the point where you can't afford, but give what you can. But my point is this. When you give, giving is one of the most selfish acts in the world. I'll say it again. Giving is one of the most selfish acts in the world. Why? Because when you give, you gain. You gain way more. Your emotional bank is full. But here's what else happens. And this, again, is my secret to my success. Here's what happens when you give. When you give to the point where you are giving so much to others, guess what? You build up what's called relational currency. Relational currency is when you fill your own account with people around you that you know you can bank on. Look, I have given so much in the years to others, added value to people, done people favors, helped people out, introduced people. I constantly live like this. I'm always adding to my relational bank account because I know, with all due respect, I've got people, contacts in my contact book that I can turn to at any given time and say, hey, look, I need some help. Why? Because I've added value to them in some way or form. So relational currency, my friend, is what you should be focusing on, not the money. I would much rather have a group of people around me who could open doors for me than having £1 million in the bank. Why? Because that million can run out. But when I've got relational currency, I can open up opportunity after opportunity after opportunity. And I'm very grateful and blessed right now to be in a position where I get to hang around with some incredible people who open some incredible doors for me and bring me in on some incredible things that can massively, massively transform my life. The question is, are you doing the same? And if you're not, then it's not too late to start. Start by giving. Go and find people that you can add value to as well. Look, sometimes you've got to be intentional with this. And sometimes, by the way, you've got to invest in new circles. It's not just about giving in the sense that what can I do for you? Can you give someone some money to get into their circles? Look, years ago, I gave money to get into certain circles, into certain masterminds, into certain groups, into certain mentorship programs so that I could access certain people. And once I was in, by giving more, not just financially, but giving more of me, showing up, doing favors, being that person, being reliable, it got me noticed. And when it got me noticed, it got other doors open and other introductions. And what I'm trying to say is I built up upon that. So sometimes you got to invest to get into certain circles. Look, one thing I'm very grateful for is that because people have opened doors for me, I like to open doors for other people. So if you're hanging around with me, if you're a client or a friend of mine, an opportunity lands on my desk, I'm going to send it your way. I have countless clients and friends who I have opened doors for and done favors for and made introductions for and helped them out on their way. Why? Because it's beautiful. But when you're hanging around the right people, this is what happens. You've got to create an ecosystem of relational currency around you, of the right people, so that you can have the right doors open for you. But if you're sitting there in your little corner going me all the time, not giving, not thinking about, hey, how can I give? And all you're thinking about is what can I take? Then my friends, you're never going to be truly rich. Look, you've got to learn. And I think Tony Robbins said it best. The secret to living is giving. What can you give? Sometimes you've got to give financially. Sometimes you've got to give emotionally. Sometimes you've got to give spiritually. And sometimes you just got to give with energy and time. So reach out to people that you know you can add value to and start adding value to them. Not expecting, by the way. You can't do it. It doesn't, by the way, little secret. It doesn't work if you go, let me help someone because now they have to help me. It doesn't work if you give with expectation. You have to give with zero expectation. When I was growing up, my mum always used to say to me, listen, son, who can you help? Now, who can you help? Because if you don't get it, maybe one day your kids will. And she always used to say that to me. She said, look, I've helped a lot of people, son, so has your dad. But we know deep down, even if we don't get it back, one day you will get it because we've done good for other people. And it is so true. Quick story. When I was setting up my care business years ago, I was on my own. I had no one to help me out. I was trying to open up a small 3-bedroom property, turn it into a supported living service. I had no money, hardly any money. I needed to do all the decorating, the painting, the whole lot. I had inspections happening soon. The place wasn't ready, all that kind of stuff. And a guy who was a good friend of my dad's, who my dad had helped out many years ago, who was also a painter and a decorator and a builder, he reached out to me. My parents were in Mauritius at the time because I'd retired there. He reached out to me and said, how are you doing? How are you doing? Like, you know, I know your mum and dad are not there. How are you? What's going on? It was almost like God sent him in that moment. And I said, hey, listen, his name was Philip. I said, Philip, I'm trying to get this house ready because I'm opening a care business and I'm struggling, if I'm very honest. He said, say no more. Philip came down and he stayed with me for 2 days. We hardly slept. He painted, he decorated, he helped me with stud partitions. We got the place ready. And you know what? He never took a penny from me. I said, how much do I owe you? He said, I don't want your money. He said, do you know how much your dad has helped me? He said, I don't want your money. I want to see you do great. Your dad helped me when I was in trouble and your dad's not here at the moment, he's away. I want to help you. And this is my whole point. When you do good in the world, good comes back to you. So you might not get it immediately, but you will get it. And that might come in the form of your child getting it or someone else that you care about getting it. So give more. Build your relational currency. If you don't keep doing that, my friends, you're always going to be empty. All right? So look, I hope this episode served you in some way or form. If it did, let me know down below. Leave me a review. Subscribe to the channel. Subscribe on your favorite platforms and share it with someone that might need to hear about the Mind Over Money podcast, because I promise you, my friends, the more we share, the more we give, the more we give, the more we get. All right? So I love you. I appreciate you. And until next time, I wish you all the wealth, health, success, and happiness that you truly deserve. Take care for now.
You've been listening to the Mind Over Money podcast with Jessen James. Don't forget to subscribe and follow on all the channels. Links in the show notes. Please also leave a review and visit www.jessenjames.com to find more resources on how to create the life you deserve.